Hello, everyone, and welcome to our match reaction show on Football Talk Podcast. My name is Ozzie, and I'm your host for this evening. Don't know about you guys, but I'm fuming about how that game ended. Which, of course, if I have to say out loud, Everton 2, Liverpool 2. So let's talk about the key moments of the game. As you guys should be aware now, if you're new to the channel, this is also a calling show. So if you'd like to come on and have your say, the floor is yours. Link has been pinned in the live chat. So feel free to hit the link and I'll get you on the show after the play ratings. So let's start with the first half. And let's be honest, it was a frantic start to the game. Played at crazy speed. The crowd were noisy and hostile, as expected in the opening seconds. The first real moment occurred when a free kick was given by Michael Oliver for McAllister's foul on Ndai. I said at the time during my watch along that was not a foul. McAllister made zero contact on the player, and the player, let's be honest, pretty much dived to win that free kick. Everton capitalised from a bit of cheating as Branthwaite hits the perfect weighted pass from the free kick, finds Beto, who's goal side, and he's one on one with Allison. In the end, he calmly slots it into the corner to give Everton the lead. For me, Canate should have defended much better there, caught sleeping, and was on the wrong side of the attacker. But it didn't take Liverpool very long to respond as McAllister does fantastically well to win the ball, lays it off to Mohamed Salah, who produces a fantastic cross into the 6-yard box. McAllister finds himself in great position. He takes a great leap in the air and nods it towards the bottom corner to find it and make it 1-1. After that, Liverpool were playing a bit more aggressively, although not too much because anytime we were aggressive, a foul would be awarded to the opposition. But due to that, um, yeah, as I mentioned, a lot of free kicks were given, 20 in total, which is a crazy stat. It shows you how the performance was presented by the referee, and we only got 9 altogether. And look, I'll be brutally honest, guys. That ref got most of those uh, decisions wrong. In fact, I probably think it'd say nearly all of them. Uh, there were other incidents that should have been given as fouls, but when that moment occurred, uh, Mark Oliver just seemed to turn his head and look the other way. Didn't really care about what happened on the pitch. If it was an Everton player, even if it was you know, the softest of fouls or a slight contact on a player, oh, he's blowing that whistle straight away. So we'll talk about the referee later on. But back to the first half, we have to also, fortunately, speak about this point. Gay for me was very lucky to stay on the pitch, as he picked up a yellow card earlier on his foul on Luis Diaz. He was then caught in got involved in a battle with Gakpo, where where he was trying to drag Gakpo down by pulling his shirt, but apparently the ref played advantage for Liverpool. Thank you so much for doing that, and we've play on. So completely ignored what happened prior to that incident and just swept it under the rug. I've seen other games when things like that have happened, they normally revisit the situation and book the player. So why wasn't that case in this time? Um, Slot um, reacted in that moment. So um, when Slot's reacting in that manner, it's a big call. But look, it's Liverpool. Why would we get those decisions? Things aren't normally done fairly. We've had all this David Coote talk over the months. Michael Oliver, Jamie Oliver, whatever his name is, he ain't any different. So same same agenda, just different referees, unfortunately. But let's focus on the key moments of the game. So had a great moment just before halftime. He was driving the ball, hits a shot from 30 yards out, low and hard. Pickford manages to parry it away, but the ball is still in play. Diaz and Tarkowski chase for the ball. Luckily for Everton, Tarkowski gets there first and manages to deny Luis Diaz from scoring the rebound. In the second half, Everton were probably the stronger team in terms of the opening minutes. Doucouré had a glorious opportunity with a header. No one was close to him. He has it wide. Poor miss from the midfielder. Should have buried it, if I'm being honest. Van Dijk, unfortunately, was caught out by the bounce of a ball. Um, Beto ends up taking the ball, drives it into the box, passes to Harrison, who creates half a yard and takes a shot across goal. But his shot goes wide. No real conviction in that shot. Then there was a penalty shout for Everton as Konate appeared to have handballed. For once, VAR got something right as it wasn't deliberate, despite what the Everton fans were shouting. So no penalty given. Doucouré then has another opportunity with a shot inside the box, but his ball goes high and wide. But moments later, Liverpool take the lead. Darwin Núñez lays it off for Jones, who has a shot from the left side of the box, blocked by Braithwaite, but only as far as Mohamed Salah. He hits a right-footed shot into the back of the net to make it 2-1. That's his 22nd goal of the season. Unbelievable from the Egyptian king. Beto almost, well, I say almost. He had a long shot from outside the box. No real power. Easy save for Allison. Jota comes on as a late substitute, has an instant impact, lays the ball off to Mohamed Salah, who hits the first time shot, carried over the bar by Pickford. But then the game turned upside down for Liverpool as Everton got a last minute winner. Um, do you know why did I call it a winner? It felt like a loss today, so I'm calling it a winner for them because the way they celebrated, this was their cup final. This was a winner for the Everton fans. The way they were singing and cheering afterwards, you think they won the league title, but obviously in reality it was a last minute draw. Tarkowski smashes the ball into the roof of the net to secure a point for the Toffees. But look, let's address a few things. Firstly, why was there so many extra minutes given at stoppage time? Originally, it was 5 minutes. Brantford and then Alcaraz clash heads, and they were down for a minute. Everton scored the goal around the 97th minute, so make sense. Then you've got to question the onside offside decision. I actually didn't think it was onside. From the angles, so they showed two angles. One image, it looked like the player was offside, and then they reversed it with some sort of low res image that they probably took from a Nokia phone or something like that. And he appeared to be onside, but I don't believe it was the right phase of the game. It was probably a few seconds prior to it where he appeared onside. So look, it might be sound like I'm speaking conspiracy theories here that they're trying to put up different pictures from different times, but it didn't look right to me. The lines drawn as well. They show it very quickly, and for me, you can't really assess it. So I don't know. I don't buy it. But look, even if it's onside in the build-up, Konate is clearly pushed by Beto, I believe it was, before the ball bounces and arrives to Tarkovsky. So that goal should not have counted. And I say this with directness. The officials in this country are piss poor. I wouldn't hire any of them to officiate matches that I play my back garden, let alone a real game. Michael Oliver, I'm going to say it frank, is an absolute prick. To call him the best in the country is laughable and shows what the levels are in this Premier League. And another point, that decision from VAR took about 2 to 3 minutes to decide. So why wasn't there further minutes added for the delay in that decision making? Not even that. The Everton players took about 5 minutes to celebrate that goal. When the kickoff took place after that second goal, it was the 100th minute. So what happened there? As soon as kickoff took place, the referee blew the whistle straight away. Make that make sense. For me, that is not acceptable. And to make it worse, it was absolute carnage at the end. The final whistle is blown. The Kure goes up to the Liverpool fans to celebrate in their faces. Curtis Jones wasn't having any of that, and he ran up to him and grabbed him by the shirt. I'm disappointed that Curtis Jones didn't throw a punch in because honestly, I would have lost all composure in that moment. Both players end up getting second yellows and will miss the next match in the Premier League. Then bizarrely, Arne Slot comes onto the pitch to shake Michael Oliver's hand. Yes, he does it a bit aggressively, don't get me wrong. And I don't know what was said, but he dishes out a straight red to the gaffer. Yeah, he was absolutely fuming, and I can tell that Armstrong wanted to deck him, but obviously he couldn't. So absolute chaos in the end. I don't care about the romance of it being the last Merseyside derby at Goodison Park. That's for the neutrals, and that's for Everton fans to talk about. And also, before I go on to my next point, TNT Sports, you need to get better with your recruitment for the commentary team. Rio Ferdinand should not be involved in any Liverpool games whatsoever. Ali McCoy's forgot his glasses, didn't know what was going on throughout the game, and he was cheering on Everton like it was his boyhood team Rangers. I might as well watch this game on Everton TV if that even exists, because probably doesn't, as they're such a small team. So look, I'm fuming about this result, and it's not quite about the title race or what rival fans have to say. Because for me, I don't even care about that noise. I'm focused on my team. It's the way how the game was officiated and how we got nothing from the referee. As I mentioned earlier in the show, 20 free kicks they received, and those free kicks were out of nothing. They were challenges that was had minimal contact. And Daid, that first goal that came through, he dived. Then the moment where he broke up his ankle or his knee, I don't know what happened to him. They said that was a foul from Szoboszlai, where Szoboszlai made no contact on the player. He kicked the ground and broke his own ankle. So what's that got to do with Liverpool? That's not a foul on us. So there were countless amount of times that there were incidents where they got the luck of the green. For us, we barely got any free kicks, and if we did get it, it was only on the basis that he had to give something for Liverpool. Otherwise, it was quite obvious that he was just cheating or however you want to phrase it. Because for me, the level of officiating, it didn't make sense. It was quite clear that they didn't want Liverpool to get anything out of the game. They wanted Everton to get a point or get the win due to the whole moving on from Goodison Park. It was that whole romance thing about it. I don't give a damn about that sort of stuff. So for me, these referees, it's getting worse and worse. And if people call Michael Oliver the best in this country, we've got a problem. Simple as that. So I'm fuming about the result. I really am. Um, it's so obvious that everyone wanted Everton to get something out of the game. And look, they got their wish. They got their wish in the end. But look, let's look at the positives. Despite my little rant and how emotional I am right now, we're 7 points clear. And that's still a good position for Liverpool to be in. Uh, I just wanted a better response from the team after that shocking FA Cup result. And I don't think we got it today. I don't think the team performed at a very high level, but we can address that very shortly as we'll move on and do the player ratings. As I mentioned earlier on, if you'd like to come on and have your say, a link is pinned in the live chat. So the floor is yours. Anyone and everyone is welcome to come on if you're an Evertonian. Yeah, even you could come on, but I probably won't keep you on for too long. Um, but until then, let's do the player ratings and let's start with the goalkeeper. Well, listen, to be fair, he didn't have to do much in this game, so I can't give him a very high score. I'm trying to think in terms of distribution, it was decent. Didn't have to make too many saves from what I remember. The first goal, it was just a nice finish. Some will say he probably should have blocked it because it went underneath his arm. I don't know. I think when you're a striker, you always give the advantage to the attacker in those moments. If the goalkeeper pulls off a save, then it's something against the odds. So for me, it was a routine shot for the striker to score. It wasn't a difficult moment for him. And then the second one, there's not much you can do with regards to that. That was a very nicely hit shot right into the roof of the net. So there's no huge arguments with regards to that one. So for Alisson's performance, I'll give him a 7 out of 10. I think that's respectable. It's not too high and it's not too low. So that's my rating for our keeper there. Oh, apologies. Why have I got Trent here? Uh, he did come on, but he didn't start the game. So let me put on the right player. There we go. So Conor Bradley, he actually started this fixture. Started the game all right. Um, Inconsistent with regards to his passing. showed a lot of energy, which was good. I think the occasion definitely got the best of him, and it's good to see a young player showing their aggression. Defensively, I don't think he was the best. Um, and obviously, when he got his yellow card, which yeah, he probably could have avoided, he was training on thin ice. He probably could have even been booked as well. And that's when Arsenal was like, you know what, we got to take him off because he's treading on thin ice. We can't really rely on him too heavily. So for me, not the best performance, but he definitely showed a good account of himself. So I'll give him an average rating of 6 out of 10. Konate, for me, not a great game from him. In terms of the first goal, I think he was at fault. He was on the wrong side of the player. He should have been goal side. Um, let him go too easily. There were moments where I feel like Beto appeared to be like prime Drogba, just started pushing defenders out of the way. I didn't like that. But having said that, Konate did show good moments where he made a lot of clearances. So I'm not just going to pinpoint, him getting pushed around here and there. I, I do think defensively he was all right. He distributed the ball okay as well. So it wasn't an abysmal game or anything to that nature, but it was a below par performance from Ibu. So in terms of his rating, I'll give him I'll give him a 6 out of 10 as well. Van Dijk was probably slightly better than Konate. There were phases where I feel like Van Dijk was really good in terms of his passing. His distribution was really good. The trademark crossfield pass that he was doing did it about 3, 4 times in the first half alone. Um, Dominant in the air, headed the ball quite a few times, but there was moments where he showed a bit of lapses in his game. There was a couple of moments. I remember one in particular on the right hand side where there was an awkward bounce, went past him. Beto was driving through. Harrison ended up having a shot, but dragged it wide. So he had those kind of you know moments where he didn't read the ball. He didn't really read the play at the time. So he looks like he was not on top of his game in those moments. But that's me pinpointing someone that has been sensational this season. So, it's very hard to put someone down when they've been so great. So, in terms of his performance, I'll give him a 7 out of 10. Robertson for me was not great today. I don't think he got involved at all from an attacking point of view. Defensively, he was okay. He didn't make any sort of crazy errors or anything to that nature. But I just don't feel like he was dominant today. I feel like he showed lapses in the game where he was out of position quite a few times. He didn't deal with attacks coming from that right hand side very well. Lindstrom, the Danish attacker, I'll be honest with you, he's not very physically strong. He's not even the quickest, but he made probably one of his best performances this season against us, which it shows, Robertson wasn't on top of his game either. So no, not a great performance from Robertson. I'm not saying pinpoint that he's the weak link or he was bad, but apologies, I was streaming so much I just swiped my my window there and then my whole stream closed it. So yeah, back to what I was saying about Robertson. Yeah, wasn't the best performance at all. So in terms of his rating, I'll give him I'll give him a I'll give him a 5. Don't think he was great. Let's move on to Gravenberch. I actually thought he wasn't bad today. I thought he was really good in the first half. Just a good turns here and there. He wasn't able to have an influence on the game, so he wasn't able to find his passing range as such, but he did try to have an impact with his ball carrying ability. And I thought he was doing really well. And quite frankly, I was very surprised that he was substituted so early on in the second half. I know he didn't have the best start to the second half, but I don't think that warrants him to be substituted right away. So when I saw Curtis Jones getting ready to come onto the pitch, I was a bit confused as to who was being substituted because McAllister was performing really well. And for Gravenberg wasn't too far off either. So I was quite surprised, if I'm being honest. I'm just hoping that it's not an injury. I don't know if there's been anything revealed after the game because I've not been online. Hopefully, it was just maybe tired legs, or maybe also for he's not having the best of games. Let me just manage him better and try and rest him for the remainder of the game so he's fresh for the next fixture. I guess we'll probably never know. Or maybe Arsenal will be transparent and let us know in the next press conference. But I don't think Gravenberg was that bad. So in terms of his performance, I'll give him a 7 out of 10. That might seem high, but feel free to let me know in the comments what you think the score is for Gravenberg. But let's talk about the guy next to him, McAllister. Sensational performance for first minute to the last. He was sublime in any shape or form. Defensively, really good, very tenacious, making a lot of tackles. And you know what? I have to give him a better rating because in the previous game that he played, he was rattled, and then we had to substitute him. But in this game, he was unfortunately giving away a lot of fouls, not, you know, on his. So I don't think it was his fault. It was down to poor refereeing, where everything was given to Everton like on a clear platter. Like it was just like daylight robbery, where we weren't getting anything and they were getting everything. So he must have been really wound up and very frustrated. But look, he used that energy to his advantage, where he was more tenacious. He was more aggressive in his pressing and in his tackling. That's what led to the goal for his header. It came from McAllister. He broke the play down, laid it off to Salah, and then he found himself roaming around that 6 yard box and then produced a great header. That's the kind of McAllister performance I want to see a bit more often because he has that capability of scoring goals in those kind of positions, dropping from a deeper position and finding himself in the box. He's capable of doing that. So I want to see more of McAllister in the future because I do feel like he's got an amazing amount of ability to score more goals and add more to his tally. I just thought he was fantastic all the way around from the beginning to the end. I thought he was really good. So one of his stronger performances this season. Just a shame that the way it ended. So in terms of his rating, I'll give him a 9.5. That might seem crazy based on what I'm showing for the other players, but I thought he really stood out today. I don't think he put a foot wrong. I should maybe give him a 10, but I'll just give the half a point, I guess, probably down to the result more than anything else. But in terms of his performance, I thought it was really good. So McAllister gets 9.5. So Bosley, I actually thought he had a decent game. He was definitely aggressive from his off the ball duties. So pressing wise, he was doing really well. I thought he was better on the ball in recent games. He's been quite wasteful in possession. I actually feel like he did quite well into the retaining the ball and trying to create things for the team. He had that shot as well where he hit a 30-yard shot, almost scored, got carried away by Pickford. But generally, I thought he had a decent game. Not his best game by stretch of the imagination, but I do feel like he had shown a good account of himself. So for his rating, I'll give him an 8 out of 10. Salah will definitely get the spotlight due to providing the assist and also getting the goal as well, which should have been the winning goal, but unfortunately that's not how it occurred. I thought he had a quiet game. I don't think he was involved in the build-up play very much. Didn't really take on the fullback who was Mikolenko. Don't remember him having too many duels with him, so I had a quiet afternoon, but in traditional Mo Salah fashion, he grabs the headlines by getting goals and assists. And look, end of the day, that's what you want from your attackers. I'm not too fussed about the overall build-up play for my attackers. As long as they're getting the goals and assists, that's what counts. So, in terms of his rating, I'll give him an 8.5 today. Gakpo on the other side, I thought he was quite poor. He was very quiet. Don't think he was involved that much in the game. Generally, he'll have those mazy runs from the left-hand side. He'll cut in and try and take a shot. Very barely did that today. So very quiet, very average performance from Cody Gakpo. So for his rating, I can't give him a very high one, unfortunately. It's going to have to be a 6 out of 10. Diaz. Now, firstly, I was slightly surprised that Diaz started in this fixture. I thought he was abysmal against Plymouth Argyle over the weekend. Don't think he was worthy of having a starting place in the team. I actually would have gone for Darwin Núñez in this fixture. Um, Today, I wasn't impressed. Look, I'll be honest with you. I was impressed when he first played this false nine role because it was something new, something different, something that we hadn't seen Diaz play in a Liverpool shirt. So it was maybe just something that felt like, do you know what? Maybe he can be a different type of player in that false nine role. But for me now, I don't know. I don't think it works because there's games where he's not involved, and it's all good about having a false nine, but you still got to be in the box to try and create opportunities or try and create goal scoring opportunities for yourself. He's not doing that today. He was barely in the box today, so I don't know. I found it a bit frustrating. He kept on attacking the left channel, and then Cody Gakpo's not even interchanging. Cody Gakpo is still on the left hand side, and they're doing 5 yard passes to each other. So no, not a great performance from Diaz. I'd want it to be where it's a crazy situation because I don't feel like no one deserves to have a starting place in this team. Jota for me, great finisher, but due to his injury record, he's never fully fit. And when he is, unfortunately, he breaks down as well. Darwin Núñez works hard for the team, but doesn't have that killer touch in front of goal. So we're in a situation where we don't really have a great striker up top. Obviously, that's probably something to address on another episode. But in terms of this performance today, Diaz for me, it's not going to be a great score. I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. So yeah, feel free to let me know in the comments, guys, what you think of my ratings, and please feel free to add yours to the chat as well. In terms of the man of the match, there's only one person there that deserves to have any praise today, and for me, that was Alexis McAllister. I thought he was fantastic today. Um, what we'll do now is we'll quickly go through the substitutes, and then I can see we have a call in the back, so I'll try and bring him on very, very shortly. So let's go with Trent. I actually thought Trent had a very impactful substitute cameo when he came on. Kept it neat and tidy. Passing was good. Made crucial clearance when required. Um, but unfortunately, the winning goal came from his side, and maybe he should have done better to block that one. But I'm not going to blame him for that. It was just a crazy moment where it's debatable if it was onside as well. Firstly, and then secondly, Kushon Konate. It was so obvious that that happened, and nothing was given. Um, I've already expressed myself about the referee, so I'm not going to go on another rant about that. But that was quite frustrating to see. But in terms of Trent, I actually thought he had a decent cameo, so um, I'm giving him a 7 out of 10. Who else came on? So we had Jones that came on for Gravenberg. Jones. And then we also had Simicast like for like substitution for Robertson. And then we also had Darwin Núñez on for Gakpo. And the final substitution was Diogo Jota for Luis Diaz. So let's bring on Jota. There you go. So Jota ended up playing left wing. So let's just shift him over there. There you go. So let's start with, well, I've gone for Trent now. So let's move on to the next player, and that's Curtis Jones. I actually thought Curtis Jones had a good game. When he came on, I think he was pressing very aggressively, which is what we need at the time. His passing was good, kept it neat and tidy. Uh, Pretty much played a hand with the goal where found himself in an advanced position, had a shot. The shot was actually going inside the goal, but Branthwaite made the block. Um, so I thought he had a very good cameo. I'm probably going to boost his rating a little bit because the way he stood up for the Liverpool fans at the end, you probably heard comments in the past. I like that sort of stuff. I like to see players showing that kind of side to the armor where you can't take nonsense like that. And for Doucouré to go to Liverpool fans and celebrate like that, I have to give some respect to Jones for um, holding it in terms of making sure that no player can get away with that. I'm actually proud that he didn't throw in a punch because I would have done so. I would have lost all composure in that moment. So we have to give him a bit of credit to, for keeping it in. But then again, I saw a lot of players, holding him back. So, it was one of those moments where, it had to be done. Otherwise, it could have got a bit nasty. But in terms of his performance today, I thought he had a good game, good cameo from him. So in terms of Curtis Jones, I'm gonna give him. Might sound crazy. I might give him an 8 out of 10. I thought it was really good when he came on. Let's go on to Simicast. Simicast, I wouldn't say he put anything, put a foot wrong, anything to that nature, but it was very quiet sort of impact from Simicast. Defensively, didn't do much, but then attacking wise, I don't feel like he got involved heavily as well because when Simicast comes on, you expect him to, hit through balls and having delivery from corner kicks or crossing from the byline. Didn't really show that account of himself today. So probably an average cameo for Simicast. So I'll give him a 5 out of 10. And who else do we have? Darwin Nunes for Cody Gakpo. I thought that Nunes did okay. Worked hard for the team. Also had a hand with regards to Salah's goal as well. Um, as I mentioned before, I would have started him in this fixture, so I was a little bit disappointed about that. Um, but no, decent cameo. Nothing too spectacular from Darwin Nunes, so he gets an average rating of 6 out of 10. Jota was a bit of a strange one because when I was doing my watch along, I mentioned that he should come on because I feel like he would have been a more of a sort of a goal scoring threat. But at the time when he was brought on, it was around the 84th minute, I think it was, and we had taken the lead. So I thought that substitution was not worth doing at the time. It was more so it was a substitution that was too late. It should have been done 20 minutes prior to that. So you have to look at the situation of the game. With 5 minutes remaining, Everton are really trying to, pose a threat on us with their long balls and direct football. We need to add either another body in the defense or bring on a player like Endo, who can, provide that sort of protection for the back line, and then it would just present a more solid unit for us defensively. Neither of that happened. So Jota came on and he had an instant impact, almost set up Salah with I think his first touch, and then Salah ended up having a shot that got parried away by Pickford. Had a amazing run from the right hand side where he drifted in, but I feel like he just ran into players and didn't really know what he was doing. So two moments where maybe he could have scored, but I don't think we needed a goal at the time. We needed to just secure this win, and unfortunately, hindsight is a thing where you look back and think maybe that was the wrong call. So for his performance, I'll give him a 5 out of 10. I don't think he did anything spectacular. Um, so I just kept it neat and tidy, I would say. So that is my player ratings. So feel free to let me know what you think in the comments. What we'll do now, before I'll do the comments towards the end. What I'll do now is I'll bring on our caller, and that is Uncle Ross. So let me bring on to.
Yeah, man.
How's it going, bro? How you doing?
Yeah. You know what? At the end of the day, yeah. This is where I look at it, yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever whenever we got Michael Oliver as a referee, yeah,
Yeah.
we should refuse to play football. Say we're not playing, because I would agree at the end of the day we wasn't at our best today, right?
Yeah.
But we done enough to win the game. This is what I'm saying. We've done enough to win the game. And sometimes at the day, you can't be at this 100% level all the time. Yeah.
Very
Now,
true.
you know me at the end of the day, I'm not an Arlie sort of fan. Yeah. You
Yeah.
know me. Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
dislike the guy. I'm just not a fan of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But honestly, I don't think he done anything wrong tonight. He
Mm.
done everything that he could have done tonight. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. We could argue at the day that he probably should have done the subs a bit more earlier. We could argue
Yeah.
that, but it
These are
would have
little
made
things.
a difference.
Yeah.
I don't think. Yeah,
Yeah.
we could then argue he would have put Endo on just to get some stability. But if you look at the flow of the game and the way the referee had it, anytime we got near them,
Mm.
they got a free kick. Yeah.
Yes.
Anytime they got near us and they wrestled us to the ground, they got nothing. Do you know what I mean? Nothing happened to them because my guys and Coppish got it wrong in a sort of way because they thought it was two players. What it was with Atrissa Gay, yeah, Atrissa Gay stops Diaz from breaking forward, isn't it? He pulls him down, then he pulls him down. Really, too, when you look at it, that probably should have been investigated for a red card. Yeah.
Yeah, second yellow. Yeah.
Yeah. No, the first one. The first time he brought it, they should have looked at that for a red card. Yeah. Didn't they give him a yellow card? Okay.
Yeah.
5 minutes after, he does the same sort of tackle on Diaz again. Because what he was, Diaz was on the line, and Diaz has got away from him, innit? Diaz got away from him, and he's dragged him back, right under the referee's nose, yeah, right. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. No free kick or nothing. Do you know what I mean? You had sort of like you had what's his name? Braithwaite. You had Braithwaite whining on like Salah, like he's in a dance or something like that, innit? Like he wants to back it up and all that. You get me? And doing all that, nothing happened. But the moment we got near to the players at the name, right? Yeah, we had a miraculously, and they get a free kick. They just fall over the floor, right? Imagine that day, right? What's his name? That guy? Oh gosh, can't remember his name. But the one that went off injured, yeah. That one went off. And that's it. And die. Yeah. Right. Do you know what happened with that? Do you know what happened? So Bonsai didn't touch him, you know. He kicked the floor. No, he went to kick the ball, but he went to kick the ball, but he kicked the floor instead. He injured himself in the foot, right? And he's gone over. They get a free kick.
I know.
Do you understand what I'm getting at? So when you're up against those elements, it don't matter. This is what I was trying to explain to my brethren. When you're up against those elements, yeah, it don't matter what you do. I always say this, yeah, the referee can determine whether you win, lose, or draw.
And they dictate the game.
They can dictate the game because initially in the they shouldn't have had that they had nearly 3.5 minutes they had added on to the 95 minutes.
Yeah.
Because it was 98 and a half minutes, right? When Tchaikovsky scored that goal, right? Let's look at that goal. Yeah. Konate gets fouled, yeah, right? Because if Konate didn't get fouled, he's stopping that ball from going over there.
Yeah.
He's stopping that goal and then to go from the right of him, yeah, right? Konate gets fouled, yeah, thus letting Tchaikovsky in to volley that ball in the back of the net. Yeah. There's a free ball. It was literally a free hit.
It was a free hit, yeah.
Yeah, free hit, free space, because there was nobody there protecting it because Konate got fouled, right? Yeah. Right? So when the goal was given that, when they scored the goal and the VAR was looking at it, do you know what they was looking for? They was looking for the offside.
Offside, yeah.
But what my point is, you're looking for something that wasn't there.
Yeah.
And you know it wasn't there because you was watching the same game that we were. Yeah. On the telly in Stockwell Park, you're watching the same game as what we are. So you know it, and there wasn't no offside involved. You know it, and what you should be looking for is a foul. You should be looking at a foul. Now, if they looked at the foul, yeah, and they would have seen it, it was a foul. What they have to do, they have to disallow the goal and pull it back and give us a free kick. Do you understand what I'm saying? Well, they didn't want to do that. Even the first goal that Butter scored in it, right? That was offside. That was offside.
It wasn't a foul before that because the guy.
That's what I'm trying to say. It wasn't a foul. So you saw the same game as I saw, yeah?
Yeah.
With the elements that are going on tonight, yeah? Do you think at the day it would have mattered how we play tonight?
No, it's one of those games. I don't think performance really matters. It's about just grinding it out and getting that result. But unfortunately, when you've got a referee like that, who pretty much did dictate the game, because anytime we had a bit of rhythm with our passing, or if they had the ball, any sort of slight contact we had on them, it's a free kick. So you're already disrupting the momentum of the game. not even us as a team, the whole game, because it's
Yeah.
stop and start, it's stop and start. So it's very hard to find rhythm when the referee's having that kind of influence on the game. And he's done it repeatedly throughout the whole game. Gave away, I think they had 20 free kicks.
Yeah, 23 kicks, 23 free
We had
kicks
9.
they've had.
We
And
had 9.
we only had
That's
about
29 free kicks. That's
we had about
crazy.
9, didn't we? It's about 9 or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
How can you give
23.
29? That's crazy.
Do you know what I mean? That to me and that should tell people at the day, right? The game at the day was out of our reach. Because I even said, look, as I said, I'm not Slot's biggest fan, right? But if we don't win the league this season, yeah, I'm not blaming Slot. God no, I'm not blaming Slot. I am not gonna blame Slot. Because I know for a fact at the end of the day, right? Yeah, that because him tonight, he was fuming tonight.
Yeah. He's
He
not
was
normally like that.
fuming. No, he's not. He's not normally like that. Sometimes he's like, oh, you know what I mean? This and that.
Yeah. As normal. Yeah.
As normal. But all game he was fuming. Even after the match of the day, right? Because he got sent off after the match, and he got red cards, yeah? Even after the match and everything, that right, he was fuming. He was livid. Do you know what I mean? Now, something like Arnie Slot and everything, that is really like a cool character and everything, that, right? Yeah. Something like him, right? He doesn't get that sort of like thing. He doesn't get like that. Do you know what I mean? So you must know at the day that there was something majorly wrong tonight. I'm telling you. And that Decory in the day, right? Yeah. That Decory, you wait till he comes back wait till he comes to Anfield.
Yeah, because we're gonna see him in a few weeks' time.
We're gonna see him in a few months' time. We're gonna see him and we're gonna deal with him. Because you know what? My respect levels for Curtis Jones at the day was up there anyway, yeah?
Yeah, I've boosted my rankings for that alone.
But yeah, my respect level for Curtis Jones at it's gone for the roof. You know what? When I do my play rating tomorrow, yeah, he's getting 10 just because of that. He's getting a 10 straight because of that.
Yeah.
He went over there, what are you doing, blood?
Yeah.
What are you doing celebrating over? Because he went right over to the fans, yeah. The Liverpool fans started celebrating. Do you know what I mean? And he even saw like he was giving it to Virgil, goes like, shush, your title's over, and everything like that. You're finished. I think so far.
Let me boost his ranking now. Let me boost
his ranking, blood. Boost him, man.
There you go.
You know
he's my man of the match. Let me put him man of the match.
Yeah, because he was amazing that day. The thing about it, he's a local boy, yeah. I'm expecting someone like Trent to do that, yeah, what he done, yeah. But he went over there and started having it. And even when it got all broke up and everything, like, he still wants to have it. He said,
come here, man. Having it.
He goes, come here. I said, yeah, go on, my boy.
Yeah.
But
I've said it in the past. People would probably think I'm a bit of a thug or something, but I like that on the pitch. I'm not gonna lie to you. I like that because that shows me, all right, this guy's not just here playing football. He's a character. Like he's got something about him. And there's certain situations where these derby games, you know, people like to throw words like, "Oh, it's intense, it's emotional," but then you've got to feel that as well when you're playing. So if you're not showing that as a character, then what are you actually doing? You're just playing football, aren't you? So in that moment, the Liverpool fans, we all treat ourselves as one big family, right? So we're a family club. So when you go over to the fans and disrespect them by celebrating that manner, that's an unwritten rule. You don't do that.
No,
when
you don't.
When it's that kind of game, you don't just go up to the rival fans and do that because you're going to run and it's going to end up being riots on the pitch.
Yeah.
So for Curtis Jones to run up to him as well and do that,
we just said, we doing over here, and it went off. Because remember the camera wasn't there at the time, wasn't it? And then next minute it goes over there, and it was just going off. Yo, Bill going forward. I was like, yeah, man, this is what. Listen, blood. Do you know what I mean? But the things about it, the whole game, only sort of fuming, right? Now, to be honest, today, if Michael Oliver is involved in our game, and this is how they're gonna play, this is how he's gonna referee the game, right? Yeah, I would say blatantly at the end of the day, right? You know what? At the end of the day, right? We're not playing. If Michael Oliver and Chris Kavanagh on a VAR, we're not playing. We want it changed. Simple as that. We want it changed. If you're talking about
that Kavanagh guy as well, he's a
he's not like because Kavanagh at the end of the day, right? He's a yatch, right? Because the fact of the day, right? He was the one that was looking for sort of like offside when it wasn't offside. He is the one that they didn't even draw the green line.
Yeah.
the first goal. He didn't draw the green line, nothing. You know what I mean? Yeah. He was the one that they let that foul go in the first place. I said it was a foul for them, giving them a free kick. Plus, they're obviously giving them advantage. So if I was Slot and then they, right, I would look at that. Remember, if you remember, Slot called it out in his press conference yesterday. He goes, "I know what they're going to be like. They're going to fall down and claim a free kick." He said that yesterday in his press conference. So really, he already knew what was going to happen.
It's a few
You know
minutes
what I
ago, he
mean?
knew.
He knew, but he just thought, end of the day, well, we can get around it. Do you know what I mean? We can get around it. And fair play to him because, you know, that's the thing. But I cannot see anything at the end of the day that Arnie Slot did tonight that was wrong. You know what I mean? People are complaining about sort of like the fact that he brought on Jota at the end of the day, right, later on. But it was a like for like. One, it was a day, it was a like for like. Two, at the end of the day, right, he wanted to put the game to bed. He just wanted to
Yeah.
put the game to bed.
But
Because
the
he's
thing is,
probably
Potter, when he came on, he actually had an impact straight away. So
yeah,
had Salah scored that opportunity from the outside the box, we wouldn't be talking about why Jota came on.
yeah,
Because I was screaming out for Jota beforehand. For me, I think the timing was just wrong. It should have been done like 20 minutes ago. Because for me,
yeah.
Diaz was poor. But yeah, like hindsight's one of those things where you say, "Oh, why did we not put Kwanzaa in there or Endo?" For me, I'll be brutally honest with you, Uncle Roz. I would not even put Kwanzaa anywhere near that team. I don't
No,
have faith in him in recent weeks. The way he showed himself against Plymouth Argyle, he's not near this team anymore. Endo, there's an argument there until maybe he could have been in the midfield or maybe in a defensive position to add a bit of stability, as you mentioned earlier on. But that's a hindsight thing because we just scored you're thinking, you know what? Let's bring in another attacker, get that third goal. That's how we are. We're an attack-minded team. We're not a defense-minded team. So I get people's argument that maybe we shouldn't go for Endo. But even when I did my watch along, I was like, I don't mind seeing Jota, but it was just too late. He should have been born a lot before because then we
yeah,
could have
yeah,
really capitalized and maybe increased the tally a bit more. So,
yeah.
so I
That's
I
about the
can't
only
criticize
thing. Yeah,
Arnold too much
yeah.
today.
That's partly. I mean, if we're clutching at straws or it
Yeah,
may be, right, we can probably say that. He should have brought him on earlier. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
That'd probably be the only one criticism that you would give Slot. But then
yeah.
again, it's not a heavy criticism. Do you know
No,
what I
it's
mean?
not heavy.
You know
No,
what I
no,
mean?
it's
Like,
not.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's
Of
more of
course.
like a hindsight thing. Because
Yes.
it could have been a situation where he brought him on 20 minutes before and didn't make an impact. Remember the day,
Yeah.
he was part of that squad and they against Plymouth the other day, right? Where
Yeah.
he didn't look good. He did not look good, and
No.
he played the whole 90
He
minutes and
hasn't he
beyond.
hasn't looked great since his return, if I'm being honest with you. Jota hasn't
Right,
looked great.
right.
So
So you can probably understand
yeah,
why Slot brought him on so
later
late.
on.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
More
he
for
did
match fitness mainly, I think. More for match fitness purposes, I think he brought him
yeah.
on.
But
Just
he
get a
did have
few
an
minutes.
effect. He did have an effect though. He did have an effect.
Yeah, he
You know what I
did.
mean?
Yeah.
And to be honest at the day, right? To be fair, yeah. I know large parts of the games that Diaz at the day was poor. But in certain parts of the game, he did have an effect. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
When from the Trezeguet, he just had some fancy footwork and he got away from him. He had to pull him down.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a bit in the day when he's running on goal as well. Do you know what I mean? So he did have that effect, but not enough. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could probably look at it in that way that was not enough of an effect. But my argument is at the day, right? Michael Oliver has been poor for Liverpool, right? When he refereed for Liverpool for a long
Yeah.
time because he was the same guy that refereed last season. Because this is what I was saying to my friend, right? I was saying to him, like, what it is, what you got to understand about playing good and this and that, we should have played better, blah, blah, blah. What you got to understand is this, right? We played amazing last season, yeah, against Man City. We stopped certain players from playing, and then they, right, yeah. Michael Oliver's refereeing, and it was still at the end of the day 1-1 when he should have given a penalty right towards it. So it
Yeah.
doesn't really matter when the referee has got that high influence on the game. It doesn't matter how you play. It doesn't matter how you play. Now, I personally think the way they played tonight, they would it was a performance that you just scraped the
Yeah.
2-1 win. Now, when you're sort of like fighting in the title, during the title and that, yeah, when you're like that, it's like not every game at the day is going to be beautiful. Not every game
Especially
is going to be
derby
wonderful.
games.
Especially derby
Especially
day.
derby.
Yeah, derby games are going to be scrappy
Yeah.
as F. They're going to be. It's just going to be
Yeah.
like that. But the fact of the day is this, right? You depend on a referee at the day to referee the game right. You depend on the officials at the day to officiate the game properly. And tonight that was not done. The agenda was out there to number one. Number one agenda is that no way does Everton lose on their last game at Goodison Park. Yeah, no way.
Yeah.
That was the first agenda. The
Yeah.
second agenda is we don't want Liverpool to win the title. That's what it is. There's officials out there that did not want Liverpool to win a title, right? And unfortunately, these same officials, yeah, are officiating our game. So if Michael Oliver and Chris Kavanagh are officiating our game again, so that against Man City, and if I was like, I would refuse to play. I'll even forfeit the game. If it means we forfeit the game, I'll just forfeit because you know what it is today? We're gonna lose it anyway. We're going to lose it. No, because he will go out his way and for Liverpool to lose the game or either draw.
Yeah.
So we ain't going to
No,
get.
I
We
get
ain't
your
going
point.
to think. But we need to stand up and then right, or do what sort of like do what they do in other countries at the day. Some other countries at the day, if a team at the day, if a team at the day is getting a bad sort of like decisions, they walk out. They walk off the pitch.
Yeah.
Just walk off the pitch and now it's not because literally there's no point in the day in playing a game at the day when officiating, right, when the referee's that bad because today at the day it was so blatant
Yeah.
his biasness. It was so blatant his bad the way he was doing it, like officiating the game. It was so bad that you can see it. You can literally see it. Even Rio Ferdinand on TNT said, you know what I mean? If I got fouled like that, I'll be in the referee's ear.
Yeah.
I'll be right up to the referee. So he knows that the day, as a Man United, ex-Man United player, he knows that the day that officiating was bad.
That's the only valid point he made throughout the whole time. Because
Exactly.
Rio Ferdinand was doing my head in, Ali McCoy was doing my head in. Like these guys were like pro Everton. Like it's like watching Everton TV. I don't know if that channel even exists, but they were speaking like the
I know.
biasness was too much today. And that
Because
I
I've
feel
got,
like that's what's like rattled me because listening to that nonsense and then seeing what's happening on the pitch as well, for me, it just added up more and more. And I just feel like it's like one of those games where you feel like the odds were against us to get anything. And we were in a great position to actually, take the
got 9
lead.
points ahead, didn't it?
Yeah, and obviously, make history in terms of like, beat them on their ground in the final day of their
They didn't want
season.
that. They ruined the game. They didn't want it.
Yeah,
You know,
we would have ruined the narrative, the
yeah,
romance of the whole tie. Like that's how it felt like. So,
they
oh,
don't
it's
care.
so
You know what
frustrating.
it is? They don't care because at the end of the day, they got their narrative and they want to keep their narrative intact. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when it comes to listening to people on the commentary, right, you should do what I do, brother, right?
Mm,
I've got like Liverpool TV, yeah?
yeah,
What I do, I turn the volume off
might do
on
like
like on like if I'm watching TNT or
yeah,
whatever and listen to the commentary on Liverpool
yeah.
TV.
That's a great shout. I might
You
do
know what I
that.
mean? That's what I do. It'll be a few seconds ahead, yeah,
Yeah,
but it's better than listening to
it's,
these Muppets in the day because these
yeah,
guys at the day, Ali McCoy said in the day, right? I mean, funny, yeah. He's blue. He's Church of England. Remember that day he's Rangers, ex
yeah.
Rangers, yeah,
If you're
yeah.
wearing
So
blue, you know what I mean?
they're blue because like Everton is Church of England, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
They're
yeah,
Church of England.
yeah,
Rangers is Church of England, yeah.
yeah,
So he's gonna agree with them, man, because his best
yeah.
friends at the
Exactly.
day sort of like are some of the mans that used to manage Liverpool.
Nah,
You know
that's
what I mean?
facts, I had
Yeah,
to research it, I had to be like, I swear he never played for Everton. So I had to go, I'm thinking, nah, he's never played for him, but the way
yeah,
he's talking is like a true blue, so it makes sense now,
yeah. He's too good because most of his friends like that Water something, Water
Walter
something.
Smith,
Yeah, Walter Smith. Him and
yeah, the
McCoy's the
manager.
best friend. Cause remember the day he
Mm.
used to be the manager of Rangers. You know that, innit?
Yes,
Some of
correct.
them man there, and then they like used to be manager of Rangers. This and that. They're best friends at the day, yeah,
Mm.
right. They're best friend because they've got that Rangers link in it. You understand?
Yeah,
You
trust.
know what I mean? So like he's gonna talk up Everton and everything like that, right? Yeah. He was when that goal went in and everything that blah blah blah. He's going mad. Their man was going mad. Alan McCourt is going mad. The other commentator, I don't know what his name was, going mad, and Rio Ferdinand was going mad. Anybody who's thinking, and that's their team.
You know what? The Salah goal, right? For me, it was like you just walked into a funeral. Like it was like no ounce of like happiness whatsoever.
No,
It's like depression, and I'm like, the guy just scored a goal. Like the
and it's a
most
banger
we
as
said was
well.
that, oh, it's his, yeah, and it was a good. The most they could come up was that, oh, it's his 22nd goal. That's the only positive thing they said.
Yeah,
And I was like, nah, this is like, and I'm getting rattled as I'm doing my watch along because I'm just like, yeah, this is like really annoying me now. It's just like today felt like such a weird game because I feel like I was being a very biased fan today, which you know me very well. I'm not a biased fan in that regard.
yeah.
What I see is I'll speak out loud. Every foul that they got was not a foul in my eyes. I'm thinking, nah, maybe I got a Liverpool hat on today. Maybe I'm just on one today where I'm
No,
just
you're
like
not wrong.
biased.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
And I felt like that. It was such a crazy. I've never felt like that watching a game, and I'm thinking, where am I being very biased here? Like, what's going on? But it's the referee. He was dictating the game and giving them every little aid that was possible.
Let me ask you a question, Oz. Yeah,
Yeah.
a goal scored. Yeah, right. How can you go and check for something that's not there, but then miss the obvious thing that was there?
Yeah.
Then you want to tell. Then they want to tell us certain day. They will tell us certain day, right, that they refereed the game properly. There was no sort of like, you know what I mean, another stuff. How can they? Yeah, I'm asking you, how can they go and look for something that's not there, but missed what is there?
It's their narrative. It's their narrative to try and make an excuse to deny that goal because you know the offside one. Even look, so they had two images on the screen. The first image, I'm thinking, do you know what? It's debatable. And I'm like, his foot looks a little bit ahead of Van Dijk and I think Simicast as well. And they showed a second image where he looked completely onside. But from what I can tell, it was not the right or the exact same moment of play. It felt like it was like a few seconds prior to that, sort of like the lines that were drawn, the fake lines that were drawn. And the second picture looked like it was taken from a Nokia. Like it was like so low res.
Nokia,
I was like, where did this take this picture from? And I'm thinking, well, that's their narrative to try and say, oh, we've covered all the angles, right? And the one you mentioned, the obvious one, where the guy literally got decked from behind.
Yeah, pushed him
And
down.
wasn't reviewed. You know what's even, they're going to say it was reviewed, but they dismissed it so quickly. It was literally 2, 3 seconds. And then, oh, but then what annoyed me even further to that was they took 5 minutes to celebrate that goal. The Everton fans and the Everton players was
Remember,
celebrating
you
for
remember,
30 minutes.
do you remember the fans?
Yeah,
The actual fans came in the pitch as well.
came onto the pitch as well.
As well.
Exactly.
And this is what I'm saying. And I said this to my brother. Notice how at the day, right? Yeah. When those two guys went down with
Oh, when they
the
clashed, yeah,
head,
yeah,
that was two of their own players. That's got
yeah.
nothing to do with us. That's got nothing to do. What should have
True.
happened? They should have just come off the pitch
Yeah,
and
got
the game
treatment.
should have carried on. That's what
Yeah,
should happen. Drop ball, the game should have carried on. That's got nothing to do with it. It wasn't as if like our player crashed into him, to them.
yeah, yeah,
It was two of their players crashing together. Yeah.
yeah.
Right. That was about 2 minutes at the day at most.
Couple of minutes, yeah.
That was 2 minutes at the most, right? When Tarkowski scored the goal, that was 98.5 minutes.
It's wild.
So what they've done, they've added on 3.5 minutes onto the extra time.
Yeah,
Yeah. So basically they've done that, yeah, until at the end of the day, so like Everton had a chance to score. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah.
yeah, you're correct.
Right.
Yeah,
So he celebrated for all that time. Then you had the VIR check, yeah, right?
yeah.
Yeah. When sort of like my thing came back, yeah. When they came back, right? Liverpool kicked off 2 passes and he blew the referee, blew whistle. 2 passes and a blue whistle. They should have at least
So,
been went over to like 103 minutes. That should have been 103, 104 minutes. They should have what should have went on for because it should at least added on 5 minutes, for the celebration. You know what I mean? If you want to go down that road, right, and put on 3.5 minutes on top of the 95 minutes, right. They should have been an extra 5 minutes put onto that. Then that would have made it fair. In the first half, when the Garni or whatever his name is, right, when he fouled himself, when he fouled himself and he had an injury and everything like that, he was down on the floor, for 5 minutes, It took him another further 2 minutes to get off the pitch, because remember at the day, they can't start the game till he gets off the pitch, So it took him a further 2 minutes and 2 minutes or so to get off the pitch, right. So when it comes to the end of the first half, it should have been like 8 minutes, you might say. It should have been like 8 minutes at the day added on time, but yet it was only 5. That's because it was. That's because at the day it was like it didn't suit the narrative. It didn't suit the narrative that you give it more at the day, right. But however, 2 Everton players at the day clashed together, right. You not only do you add on 3.5 minutes on top of that, right, but like you let them celebrate and do what they're doing and whatever, blah blah blah, right. But you don't add on the minutes onto that because you don't want Liverpool to score because Liverpool might have scored actually. If they added on the further 5 minutes, Liverpool probably would have scored, and that's what they were afraid of because what they want to do. See, I would go so far as saying this, right, and I don't care who thinks I'm wrong. I'll go so far as saying this, right. The team, the manager, and the team are told at the day how the game's gonna go. The opposing manager. So no, not opposing manager. Like, so the manager they want to do the narrative towards. Because like when you look at the Tottenham game and the Tottenham game, right, you can see it. And there's a lot of decisions in the Tottenham game and you think, what are you doing? And like the way that sort of like some of the Tottenham players that they were doing certain things at the day, it was just kind of convenient that they was doing it. They was doing it like they knew they can get away with it. They've had the memo already. If you go back at the day to the sort of like the Aston Villa game, there's an Aston Villa game that we played under Klopp, and it was when Cody Gakpo. We brought Cody Gakpo in the sort of like in January. Do you know what I mean? So like it was his first like half a season, sort of like, you know what I mean? And Tyrone Mings fly kicked Gakpo in his chest, and the referee was right there, and the referee did not give a yellow card, did not give nothing. Why? How does he think at the day that he's able to get away with that? Do you know what I mean? Tonight and at the day, we see some of the things that was happening and this and that, right? How is it they feel that they can get away with doing that, and the referee's not going to do nothing? These players at the end of the day, these team, probably the manager team, we called to one side, and he's already got the mirror and said, "Look, at the end of the day, right, you're not losing tonight. Trust me, we're on your side tonight. You're not losing tonight. You understand what I'm getting at? Do you know what I mean?" And he goes and tells these players that, right, well, brother, listen, we're not going to lose tonight. What do you mean, boss? Listen, we're not going to lose tonight. Trust me, I got it. We've got it sorted. And they go out and do anything that they want to do. Even later on, Decore going over to sort of like doing that to the fans. What encumbers him to think that he can get away with doing that?
Get away with it,
You know what I mean? He's never done that before. He's never done that before. Even when at the day we've been sort of like, all right, last season and I thought, I'm sure Decore was with them last season, right? Last season when they beat us 2-0 a day at Goodison Park, did he go to our fans and start celebrating? Do you understand what I'm getting at? And we was ahead of them in the league anyway. Do you know what I mean? We were more close to winning the league than what they were. Do Do you know what I mean? Yeah, didn't do that. These guys are being told and they can do whatever they want and then you're not losing tonight. Because that's what he showed me tonight and everything that, right? And
Yeah,
I've been thinking about this for a long time at the end of the day. Even when if you go back to this like last season with the Doku sort of like Doku
yeah,
fly kicks McAllister to the chest and the
that's
referee
yeah,
was right there and
yeah,
nothing happened to him. You know what I mean? They've got being told that you can do anything you want today, do today or tonight and for that referee's got our back.
yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
No,
That's
I
why
get exactly what you're saying.
yeah. That's why I say anything that right is certain officials that they are like officiating your game, yeah, and you've experienced trouble with them before, right? You've got the right to say, I'm not playing. We're not
Yeah,
playing. Take the 3 points. We're not playing. Do you know what I
mm,
mean? Because the fact of the day, right, you're not going to win anyway
yeah,
with these guys there because the fact that they'll do everything in their power. Do you know what I mean? You honestly think at the day if Michael Oliver and Chris Kavanagh are like officiating, yeah, in a Man City game when we go to Etihad, do you honestly think that they're going to win that game? I'm,
yeah,
you know what I mean? If that's the case, and everything that Michael Oliver and Chris Cameron are officiating, yeah, either one's a referee or one's on VAR or whatever, yeah. If there's, I'm not going to watch the game
mm,
because I'm just going to get vexed. Because tonight and day, I was just vexed with some
same.
of the things that was going on and everything that, and it was blatant. It was a blatant disrespect to Liverpool Football Club. Blatant disrespect. And the fact is at the day, right, and it's been like this ever since at the day, right, Liverpool booed the national anthem. Ever
Yeah,
since then, that's when it's happened.
it's
That's
true.
happened. You used to get little bits in between and everything now. You used to get little bits, but they weren't sort of like too much to sort of like, you know what I mean, to write home about.
Yeah,
It used to happen now and again. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And they can put it down to well, this happens to every team, now and again.
mm,
But like when they booed the national anthem, right? That's when it started. That's when it started, and think that right, and
yeah,
things that started happening to Klopp. Do you remember? And
yeah,
they had a referee and one of the officials, I think one of the fourth officials, whatever, walked past Robertson and elbowed him in the face. Do
yeah.
you remember
The
that?
shin bone. Yeah,
He
yeah.
elbowed him in the face in them day, right? And then
Nothing happens.
nothing happened to him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
All that, all that in day, right? It's not a coincidence. They literally, people might think we're paranoid, but they're literally out to get us. They don't want. I'm telling you, their agenda isn't that Liverpool do not win the title this season.
it always feels like that. It always feels like it's Liverpool against the world, and the history will tell us that that is the case. And I don't want it to be where rather things are, play the violin, and we want to it's like a sorrow moment for us. We're just mentioning incidents that have happened in the past, and look, we will never know in terms of what transpired today. But what I witnessed today was a game that felt like it was a corrupted game. It
Mm,
didn't feel like it was a general official trying
mm.
to play the game to the real level that it should be played at, the way natural,
It
organic. It
stinks to
didn't
high
feel
heaven.
like that. It
It
just felt
stinks.
very weird. So for me, it's like you can never rule out. It's kind of like, look, people will say match fixing. It's you can't roof these things out. It's happened in the past. It's happened in different countries. The only thing is, in England, they can probably cover this up better than other countries. Probably like
Yes.
the government as well. Obviously, I'm not going to get into politics, but
Yeah.
the government can cover up a little
You
things
know
as
what?
well.
You know what isn't there when you get into politics? And there, yeah, we need to have a long chat about that. You know that, don't you? We need to have a long chat about that.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah, carry on,
the
sorry, carry on.
government, no, so the government, they can literally, put things under the rug and then no one will never know about it because they know how to hide corruption. Other
Yeah,
countries can't do it, but England can. And it's probably the same with the FA. They're able to manage that in that way. When we won the league a few years ago, that's because we were relentless. Like they couldn't do anything to stop us. They probably tried with their dodgy referees and stuff,
yeah, yeah.
but they just couldn't stop the football.
Well, they did.
So
They
what
did.
you
Did they? Do you remember the? I'm sure. No, that was season after. Sorry, I was just thinking
yeah,
about the.
but
Remember the Everton
I'm sure
game?
they tried. I'm sure they tried. So
Yeah,
this is my point. You can't. This fans, people might be thinking, "Oh, we're talking, over our heads and stuff." We'll never know. But what I felt today, it didn't feel normal. That's all I can
No,
say. And it's not me being an emotional fan or whatnot. But when I'm trying to second guess myself, thinking, why is every foul being given? But I feel like it's not a foul for Liverpool. Like
yeah,
for me, I was just watching the game. It was a bizarre game for me today. Really weird game to watch. And I feel like with these sort of things, look, we're gonna have to let football do the talking because I don't want this to hamper our season. In regards to Michael Oliver and Chris Kavanagh, all these kind of people, unfortunately, we're not gonna hear anything after this game. We're not gonna hear a statement from PGMOL. I call it PGLOL because I think they're a joke. But for me, you're not gonna hear a statement. You're not going to hear, oh, we should have done better, because they regard, especially Michael Oliver, they regard him as the elite referee in this country,
mm,
which shows you how shocking the referees are in this country. So for me, we are probably going to see him officiate another Liverpool game, but next time we can't let him dictate what happens. I know it's very difficult, but we've got to make sure that we give it to their hands, because over the years we've won the league title. We've managed to do it. So
yeah.
hopefully
That's
we
when
can do it
yeah,
again this year.
yeah,
So
but that's when you never had people. Yeah, you never had the people like Michael Oliver. I
yeah,
mean, I understand what you're saying and understand what you're saying. We need to go and play a game, but
yeah,
it to that respectfully, that's what we tried to do tonight. And
yeah,
look what happened.
uh,
So you
yeah,
know what it isn't a right. I can't sit here and say in the day it can't be done. What I can say, it's going to be very, very, very hard to do it because whenever
yeah,
we put what got me tonight, whenever we put some good passage of play together tonight, because a lot of people said we was playing poor and this and that, right? Whenever we put some good passage of play together, right?
yeah,
That all they did at the day, right? When we got near them or took the ball off them, yeah, they fell over free kick. Fell over. So
yeah,
basically, what it was doing at the day is the momentum at the day that we was trying to build. It was getting stopped and stopped and stopped. So you're trying to build a momentum, right? Get stopped, then you got to go back to the beginning again and try and build that momentum again. And that's what was happening. I mean, the two times at the day that we got into good momentum is that when we scored that goal and then our first goal to level it, when we sort of like Curtis Jones come on and started spreading the play, because
yeah,
a lot of people were saying that why did you take off Groundwork and bring on Jones? But when Jones come on and started to play, yeah, they realized why they took him off, because he started to spread the play and he started to get in some good positions in there, right? He done that. He had a shot on goal, rebound off a player, then Salah just took one touch, and the other touch was in the back of the net. Do you know what I mean? So
mm,
we had those few chances that day where we put some good passion to play together. But all the other times that we did put passion to play together, our
yeah,
momentum was getting cut, was getting cut. And he only let us at the day, right, put those good passes to play together. Yeah. He only let us do that when at the day he's trying to make it look not so obvious that he's corrupt, because that's what
yeah.
he is.
They
I'm
have to
gonna call
disguise it
it.
in some way, don't they?
Yeah, I'm gonna call it what it is. He's corrupt.
Mm,
So basically,
yeah,
he's trying to sort of like make it not so bad. Do you understand what I'm getting at? But like
yeah.
most of the
I
times of
agree.
the day, our momentum was getting cut. So
Mm,
the way I see it is when you're playing a game, when you're playing a game, and your momentum's getting cut all the time. Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard at the day to sort of
yeah,
like to play that game, and they know this, and that's why they do it. Do you know what I mean? So if
yeah,
Michael Oliver was there next time, yeah, we got
mm,
two choices that what we can do. We can either go out there and try and play the best game that we can, yeah, and give
yeah,
him sort of like no kind of like no, not a chance at they to do this and do that, yeah, or we could just forfeit the game. If you feel it in
yeah,
the day, that sort of like, there's no getting around it, yeah, right? Forfeit the game, because if we take a stand, yeah, on something like that,
that's a big
yeah,
statement.
it's a big statement, and it might literally at the day, right, have a knock-on effect. Might have a knock-on effect. If we're lucky, we'll have a knock-on effect. Do you know what I mean? And then they'll have to do something about it. At the moment and day, right, they don't have to do anything about it now. Do you know what I mean? The only reason that guy David Coote, the only reason that he got fired at the day, right? Yeah, is because he got caught on camera saying like, being racist, basically being racist on camera. That was the only reason. And also at the day he got caught as well putting Columbia marching pad up his nose. Do you know what I mean? Not a good look. Do you know what I mean? Not a good look. If those two things at the day didn't happen, yeah, David Coote in the day will still be in English football now. He will still be refereeing. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So really and truly, and day, right? We shouldn't wait and day for these people and day to do the right thing and officiate properly. We shouldn't wait for that because they should be doing the right thing anyway. We shouldn't wait for them to do the right thing, or even people and they rooting out other referees that they know and they are bad apples. Yeah, we shouldn't wait for that. We should take a stand ourselves and say, look, we refuse to play. When they ask us why, because at the end of the day, we think he's biased, and we will have evidence of his biasness. We can draw back to the Man City game. We can draw back to the sort of Everton game. We could draw back to this and that. Do you know what I mean? You said all these separate games at the day that we played under these guys at the day, right, is resulting in us losing or drawing at the day in vital times when we shouldn't be losing and we shouldn't be drawing it. And you can point to the fact that Man City, Doku fly kicks him in the chest and they don't even go to VAR. They can point to the fact today and they got many free kicks and they probably deserve 5 out of those 23. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's so many, they can point to the fact today that you're looking for an offside and you know for a fact there's one not offside there. Yeah, you know there's a foul, and you didn't even look at the obvious thing, and there was a foul because you know for a fact that if you looked at a foul, that goal is disallowed. So that tells me at the day there was agenda. So you got to take us. So it's you know what is at the day. It's sometimes in your life at the day, you have to stand up for what's right. Yeah, and then the chips fall where it may. You understand what I'm saying? It's not so much of the fact that football is like in life in general. When you see if you're in a workplace or in society, society like in your community or whatever, and you see certain inequalities going happening, you have to stand up and say, no, that's wrong. You don't treat people like that. Do you understand what I'm saying? You have to stand up and be counted. Do you know what I mean? Because a man is measured by his moral fiber. Simple as that. And if you've got no integrity and you've got no moral fiber, to me, you're not a human being then. You understand what I'm saying? So sometimes you have to stand up for what's right in football. We got mugged off tonight, yeah? We got mugged off. It was basically, and they should have put Dick Turpin, you know what I mean? It was like it was Dick Turpin to Artisu.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But and what pains me and what upsets me, I would say what upsets me is the fact that this is not the first time it's happened.
No.
Under the same guy. This is not the first time it's happened.
And it won't be the last, but based on what we've seen over the years.
Because we got 14 games to go, and they were. They know, in fact, this is how they're wicked, brother. Yeah. We got 14 games to go. They knew it, and if we had a 9-point lead over Arsenal, 12-point lead over Man City, they probably know it, and they're not catching us.
No.
They probably know they're not catching us. So what they want to try and do is shorten the gap in the day, right? Shorten it so much at the day, right? Either Arsenal get close or take over.
Try and make it exciting for the neutrals. Yeah.
Not so much exciting at the day. They just literally
do not want us to win.
They don't want us to win. They don't want. You know what? A lot of people talk about sort of like they're the most hated team in the league in the day, right? I don't buy it. We are the most hated team in the league. We are. I'm talking about in the football league, you know. You know how many teams at the day, even lower league at the day, just waiting at the day to get one over on us. But if it's Man United or Man City or Arsenal and they don't play half as good. Watch at the day Plymouth at the day, right? Watch how Plymouth play against Man City.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So really and truly, the way I see it today, right, we have to stand up because I heard the Virgil van Dijk interview after. I heard it on on Liverpool TV. Yeah, I heard it.
Mm.
And personally, I think that was weak. Personally, I just think it's weak. Sometimes at the day, you have to call it out for what it is.
Yeah.
And let the chips fall its mate. I'm sorry. You're the
Mm.
captain of Liverpool Football Club at the end of the day, right? You can't be saying that, oh, it is what it is. It is what it is. At the end of the day, we came here, they got good support, this and that. Do you know what I mean? It's like, Decore should have gone over, celebrate in front of our fans. He's got his fans over there. Well, it is what it is. That would just sounds to me that you're not really bothered.
Yeah.
That's why, and that's why I rate and then they sort of like that's why I rate sort of like Curtis Jones so much, right? Because he went over and said, "What are you doing, bro?
Mm.
Nah, I'm not having that," and grip him up. I'm not having that. You say, "Yeah, not getting bits." Do you know what I mean? What Curtis Jones done today? I'm expecting my captain to do that.
Yeah,
If
true.
that was Gerrard at the end of the day, right? And they did something like that, right? And Gerrard was on a pitch, yeah. Gerrard wouldn't have none of it.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have none of it. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm expecting my captain to do, what Curtis Jones done today. But he never. Yes, he came in and broke it all up and everything that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you really had Kanate in there
A lot of
already.
them were there anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Kanate was there like pushing up mans and saying, yo, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Nunez, they were all there.
You're
McAllister, they were
all
all
there,
there.
then
So.
he come in last. He literally
Mm.
come in last, yeah. And then when he has his post-match interview in the day, right, yeah, he's just like literally in the day, he's like he's not bothered.
Yeah.
Like it don't really mean anything to him. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, well, it is what it is. What kind of thing is that? You got your brethren in the day. You got your brethren, yeah? When you're a
Yeah.
good brethren in the day. And so we punch him in his mouth and everything that, right? And you're all tussling and everything that, trying to break up, right? And then
Yeah.
I come and ask you and everything that, yeah, what go on, what happened? We go, oh yeah, my brethren got punched in the mouth and everything that. Yeah, it's what it is. Do you know what I mean? You're not gonna say that, are you?
Makes sense.
You're not gonna say that, are you? You're not gonna say that.
Nah,
Yeah,
facts.
my brethren got punched in the mouth and more time. Yo, listen, I can't even talk the thing right now. You be like something like that, you know what I mean? I'm gonna act, brother. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you
act.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I'm gonna act, you know what I mean? I'm not a violent person, but I'm gonna act. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
facts.
Do you know what I'm
Facts.
saying? But the way he come across, Oz, it's like he
Yeah.
wasn't bothered. He wasn't bothered about the whole thing. He just wasn't bothered.
I think he was just closed. I don't think he wanted to talk. I think he probably was rattled and he probably was peed off. But
No,
these sort of interviews and stuff, they gotta like not
listen,
sugarcoat it,
if
but
that was if that was Henderson, yeah. Because
yeah,
remember,
no, he'd mouth it off. Yeah, he'd mouth it
yeah,
off.
you know what it is. Did you see that interview he done with
I,
I? And he popped off that reporter. You
yeah,
see his face. He's like say, "Yo, don't play with me. Don't play
yeah,
with me." Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm
yeah.
looking at that venom at the day, venom that you should have at the day, right? Nobody should say that you should F and blind and this and that, right?
Ah,
But
but you gotta
call it
show
out for
something.
show something and call it out for what it is at the day, right? The referee was you say the referee was rubbish. Why was he rubbish? Because I thought he was biased. Simple as that.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? And let chips fall where it's made because at the end of the day, you don't get nowhere with being quiet. You don't get nowhere in the day with being Mr. Nice Guy all the time. Do you know what I mean? Nah. Do you know what I mean? Because that don't get you nowhere.
it's true.
What are you gonna say at the end of the season at the day, right? If you know what I mean? Because I wanted to win, but if you lose the title at the end of the season and day, and you know it's down to the fact that Dave, like the games that day that Michael Oliver's refereed, you know what I mean? You know it's down to that. Yeah. What are you gonna say? It is what it is. Is that what you're gonna say?
Nah, I never heard that.
I'll tell you something. If he did say that, he is what it is. And I'll tell you what, he will not be at Liverpool next season.
Mm,
They will say, "Now, remember what they done to Roy Hodgson? When Roy
yeah,
Hodgson said that the day Liverpool should be too proud to get relegated, go down, get relegated. Yeah, he was gone by Christmas, bro.
yeah,
He was gone by Christmas. Christmas time, out the door, bro.
And then he mentioned that he was best mates with Alex Ferguson. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, he goes,
you don't talk like that.
yeah.
Can't say
And
he's
then,
your best mate and he's our biggest rival as well. That don't make
yeah.
sense. So
And another thing he done, we played Man United.
yeah,
And he remember he Gary Neville like kicked Torres in the head, didn't he? You know what I mean? He had a foot high of Torres' head, and it was getting at us all game and everything, right? And Torres at the day sort of like was like complaining about it. Do you know what I mean? And Roy Hudson had a go at him about that. He had a go at him about that. Do you know what I mean? And what he's at the day sort of like he kind of like they asked him in the day. He goes, something about sort of like what do you think of like Torres today and this and that. He said something to the effect of the day that he was out of order when he's behaving in the day, and so like he'd be having words with him. Do you know what I mean? And such. And that I think that's why that was one of the reasons why he left in the end. He went to Chelsea.
Yeah.
Because he was for
He didn't get backed by his manager.
He didn't get back in manager, but even and that was on top of the fact that the day he thought, who is this mug?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm used to Rafa Benitez, I ain't used to this mug. Do you know what I mean? You know, but like today to me at the day, today's game was upsetting more than disappointing.
Yeah.
Because I've seen teams at the day, like your Man United at the day, right? Not even play as good as we did today, yeah?
Yeah.
We played better than them, and they still won the title. You don't have to be playing this pretty football all the time and this and that, yeah, right? You don't have to be doing that to win the title. You just need to do enough to do it. Do you understand? That's what you need to do, and that's what Liverpool done today. They did enough. They didn't play amazing, but I thought they did enough to win the game. You feel me?
You don't have to play amazing. That's the sign of a true champion. You don't have to play amazing football. As long as you can grind the results out, that's what
Yeah.
that's what that matters.
That's all it
That's
counts,
all
isn't
that
it? 3
matters.
points, mate. Do you know what I mean? And we had it in the bag in the day, right? And you know, it's just these things that happen to Liverpool too much for me. It's always happening to Liverpool. We're always getting the bad decisions. You know what I mean? Always getting a bad decision. And I'm just sick of it. If you cannot officiate the game properly, you cannot referee the game properly in there, right? Go and do some other profession. Because you're getting good money for doing what you're doing in there, right? And you want to do that. Do you know what I mean? Like, thinking that only start in the day, right? Only start had a few things today. He got a red card straight away when the game's finished. He's one of his coaches got a red card as well. You know that as well.
Oh, is it? I didn't know that.
Yeah, one of the coaches got a red card as well. You know what I mean? And he before that he reluctantly gave Decore and a red card.
Yeah,
Reluctantly, only when he got told by Virgil and they what he done that he gave a red card. Because the first person that got the red card out of that melee was Curtis Jones.
Yeah,
straight to Curtis Jones at the day. Didn't even go to Decore first, you know. Reluctantly give him a red card. That's what I'm trying to say. And to me, it's a joke. I mean, listen, at the day, right? If this how football's going to be in that day, right? I can slowly see myself watching something else in it.
Yeah, you're going to lose the integrity of the game. That's what's going to happen, and you're not going to actually be into it because it's like if the officials are this poor and it's quite obvious that the game is corrupted, then why would anyone watch it? So this is what's going to happen. Where if this continues going forward, and not just Liverpool, it can be. I'm talking about the whole league as well.
Yeah.
If this corruption continues, it's going to backfire. It's going to be where fans will protest. You're going to end up having riots in stadiums and stuff. It's not good for the game. So, look, something needs to fix up very soon. I'm sure me and you can both agree. Today was just a disgrace from what we saw from the referee. And look, onwards and upwards. Don't get me wrong. I'm still fuming inside. So for me, I need to cool down. I need to sleep it off, and then hopefully tomorrow I could be a bit more calm and composed. Because I've been rattled all evening. I'm not gonna lie to you, I've been rattled all evening. So
you and me both, brother. You and me both.
It's a tough one to take. But Uncle Roz, big up yourself as always. Guys, please make sure to subscribe to Uncle Roz's channel. All you have to do is type in Anfield Uncle Roz on YouTube and you'll find his channel. So please make sure to subscribe. Uncle Roz, big up as always. Thank you for coming on.
Hey, no problem, man. I'm here anytime you want, man.
Yeah, man. I'm sure we'll have some further chats. Hopefully it's not about Michael Oliver, because if I see him on road, it's another problem. So don't want to see that guy's face at all.
No, don't come in my neighborhood. It's gonna get shaky for you, bro. It'll get shaky for you. Come by then, with
Trust me.
Oliver.
And I wouldn't even hesitate. I'm telling you, I wouldn't even hesitate.
Look
So
out your window, Oliver. Come here! That's imagine you chasing down the road. You know?
just park the car and just get out and just sort him out. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm telling you, it has to be done. It has to be done. But Uncle Russ, big up as always, man. I'm sure. Yeah, we'll chat it up very very soon. So yeah, thank you
Yeah,
for coming
love
on
and
the show.
respect, bro. Love and respect. Catch up
Cool,
soon.
man.
Yeah,
Take care, man.
love, love,
So,
love.
thank you. That was Uncle Russ there. Big up Uncle Russ always. Just got a few comments. I think something happened with my stream as I logged off, so I can't see all of the comments. So I do apologize if I can't read all of them out. But I'll read the comments that I have on screen right now. So that says, "Big up Ozzy. Can we appeal the red card for on the slot?" I don't know, to be honest with you. Daz, um, it's going to be interesting in terms of what happens the next few days. Because obviously, Curtis Jones got a second yellow. You can't appeal those ones because it's a second bookable offence. You'd assume they will because it's a straight red, but at the same time, we don't know what was said, so it could have been something where Arsenal went a bit nuts and said a few things to Michael Oliver that he probably can't take back. We don't know, so I would like to think we would appeal, but only time will tell. The next press conference will be interesting, for sure, with regards to Arne Slot there. And then Daz has asked, Ozzy, should he have gone to VAR for the one on Cody? I can't remember that one, to be honest with you, Daz. I'm still fuming for all the other incidents. I think, is this the one that, with Gay? I think so. Because if he hadn't received the yellow card beforehand, he would have got booked for that. So that one was literally swept away. That wasn't even like, I don't think a foul was given from what I can remember. So no, it should have gone to VAR, but you know, shout out to Uncle Rod. We just had a chat about that. Today just felt like a really weird game. There's games where you don't get your way, you don't get the decisions, and it's part and parcel of football. You take it how it is, and sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. That's how it feels. But today was a weird game. I like watch. If you even go through my watch along, I felt like every decision was against us. It was so blatantly obvious that there was an agenda today. It was the weirdest game I've ever encountered. And look, if the game ended in a draw and it wasn't officiated, then I don't think a lot of us will feel this way. We'd be annoyed that we dropped points, but it's just the way the game ended up panning out, where 20 free kicks given to Everton, and those free kicks literally made hardly any contact on those players. So yeah, it's a tough one to take today. Yeah, it's one of those things where you shrug it off and you move on. But I don't have trust in these officials. So when these guys play again, or if Michael Oliver's officiating again, how are we going to react? Uncle Rod said that we shouldn't even start the game. I think that would be a bit of a difficult situation to do. But having said that, if we play another game and a moment like that occurs, then it could be where the players actually walk off the pitch saying we're not going to play. This is a ridiculous decision. It's biased, it's corrupted, and then that would be a big stunt. So I'll be honest with you, I'm not trying to predict the future, but there will be a point where a team just walks off and says we're not playing because this referee is a joke. Whether it's before a game or during a game, it will happen at some point. This is the way I feel like football is going towards. So I don't know. Some fans will be like, "Oh, that's an overreaction, Ozzy. Like, what's going on? You drew today. Like, accept it. I get it, but this is how I feel." And today just felt like everything was against us when it shouldn't have been. It shouldn't have been about the last day of the Merseyside at Goodison Park. Who cares? It is what it is. It shouldn't really reflect the outcome of the game. And it was just quite obvious they didn't want nothing. They didn't want Liverpool to gain anything from today. Whether it's for entertainment purposes to try and make the league exciting or it's just to stop Liverpool winning, either way, it's corruption. So something didn't feel right. And we'll never know. the truth. Maybe down the line, 20 years time, we'll get a Netflix documentary that will reveal what happens, but we're not gonna know anytime soon. So just how it is, unfortunately, the world is corrupt, and the football world is no different. Um, Ozan Kabak, big up. So he says, I'm still fuming too. Yeah, you, me, and you in the same boat, Ozan Kabak. We really are. The worst football match I've ever watched. It felt weird. I'll probably have to co-sign with you there. It just didn't feel right. Something was just amiss for me today. Not sure how to even like describe it. I'm trying my best to put it into words. It was just a weird game to watch. Like the decisions that were given against us was diabolical. Honestly, it was so bad. It was so obvious that he just didn't want to give anything to Liverpool. And even when you're like cheating to, in these sort of games, you still have to throw a bit of a decoy to make it seem like, no, no, this is genuine. I'm not just giving all of them the Everton all the decisions. I'm trying to give you one or two free kicks here and there just to like make it seem like it's a fair game. It never felt like an equal playing field today. It really didn't. That's the best way I could describe it. It felt like the odds were against us today, and it shouldn't be. It should be all about football today. It wasn't. But I don't think this is going to get discussed tomorrow. This is something that fans will look at and be like, oh, Liverpool fans going on a rant, emotional, blah, blah, blah. I don't think this is going to get discussed. I don't think any action is going to happen. Whether Arnold Slot says something out loud, who knows? But I don't know if anything's going to happen. So, yeah, crazy times. I'm just praying and hoping that we get this league title. I don't care what other fans have to say. I want this league title more so than ever now because they don't want us to win. That's how it feels. I feel like I sound like DJ Khaled. No, no, no. They're against us. It is what it is. Um, Dad says Maka should have done it or ex players. I mean, Ozzy. Yeah. Ozan come and say, Mo Salah fouled on the other end seconds before the decline in substance. I forgot to even mention that point. That is a good point, Ozan. That run where he went past two, three players and he got clamped and nothing was given. Make it make sense. Honestly. Ozan says two of the players colliding with each other at the 95th minute, but 3 minutes added. Yet the minutes just didn't count for me. I feel like they weren't even on the ground for too long, but then I feel like they were on the ground for like a minute or two, but the added time was like more than what happened. So the goal occurred, I can't even say precise. I think it was like 98th minute. So that's 3 extra minutes. So where did those extra minutes come from? Because around that time, 95th minute, the game was set to be concluded. So why did it go further than what happened? And then you had the goal taking place, fans on the pitch, Everton fans celebrating like they've won the league title. More minutes wasted. It took them minutes as well to come up with the decision from VAR. So what about these minutes being wasted? Is it just on their clock? Does it not suit Liverpool where it should be represented for us? Where if time has been wasted, it should reflect the game for both teams, not if it just suits Everton, because that's what it felt like. If there was no advantage for Liverpool, they're not going to be given advantage. Everton will get advantage. It will suits their agenda. It suits their narrative to give them the impetus to get a point or get something out of the game. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous game. I was saying big up to Daz. And Daz 7.5 for Ali. And then your backline, Bradley, Ibu, Van Dijk, Robbo, 6 for Bradley, 6 for Ibu. So yeah, you pretty much got similar score to mine there, Daz. Apologies, I can't see any more comments, so I think that might be it for the comment section. And that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to Daz and Austin come back. I appreciate your engagement, guys. And big up to Uncle Rods for coming on the show and expressing himself. If you're new to the channel, please don't forget to like and subscribe. In terms of upcoming content, where do we begin? So tomorrow's Thursday, so we're doing a match preview of Liverpool versus Wolves. That fixture is taking place on Sunday, I believe. So we'll do a live watch along of that game, as well as a match reaction later in the evening. I hope Mike Oliver's not officiating that game because that's another stance, and I feel like that does happen. Liverpool fans need to go on a bit of a protest or do a bit of a riot. I don't know, do something because that's not acceptable. But look, we'll have that discussion if that ever occurs. But we'll leave it at that for tonight. So thank you so much for tuning, everyone. Take care, stay safe. I hope to speak with you all very, very soon. Goodbye.